Free racing pigeon tips and lots of info. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, look at the links and email below. The Queen is patron of a number of pigeon racing societies in recognition of her interest in the sport, most notably the Royal Pigeon Racing Association and the National Flying Club. The Queen and her racing pigeons. It's widely known that Queen Elizabeth II is extremely fond of horse racing, but did you know that she's also a pigeon fancier? She keeps a stable, if that's the right word, of racing pigeons in the grounds of the Norfolk Royal Residence, Sandringham. She has over 200 pigeons and is said to be extremely knowledgeable about the birds, their care and of course, about pigeon racing. But she isn't the first of Britain's monarchs to be interested in this. The first royal pigeons were given as gifts to the then Prince of Wales, later, King Edward VII, by King Leopold II of Belgium. It was the Belgians who first began the sport of pigeon racing in modern times. Both Edward and his son, George V, enjoyed the sport of pigeon racing. The next monarchs on the list were rather preoccupied by other matters and their interest in racing pigeons isn't recorded. The next king, Edward VIII, was, as we know, famously distracted from his royal role by his infatuation with his mistress then wife, Wallis Simpson. When he abdicated in order to marry her, his younger brother became king, but he too had other matters to deal with during his reign, matters that were more important than a mere mistress, because during the majority of his time on the throne England was at war with Germany. But during the Second World War, King George VI didn't forget about his pigeons. Just like other members of the royal household, they had to play their part in the hostilities. They became carrier pigeons working delivering messages from Europe to the UK and vice versa. In fact, one bird named Royal Blue was awarded a medal for his heroic work. The _Queen's _S_ pigeons. Royal pigeon keepers. Over the years, there have been 5 royal employees who have been specifically hired as experts in their field to look after the approximate 240 pigeons in the Queen's racing lofts. The birds race almost every week. The pigeon racing fraternity in the UK is vast. When Carlo Napolitano, who had looked after the Queen's pigeons since 1992, died in May 2011, there were hundreds of applications for his job from pigeon experts from around the United Kingdom. The Royal Connection. In 1886, King Leopold II of the Belgians gave racing pigeons to the royal family as a gift, and they were used to start a racing loft on the Sandringham estate. Both King Edward VII and King George V enjoyed success with their pigeons, including first prizes in the national race from Lerwick in the Shetland Isles. Royal Loft's pigeons from the Royal Loft were used as carrier pigeons during the First and Second World Wars, with one bird Royal Blue winning the Dickin Medal for gallantry for its role in reporting a lost aircraft in 1940. Following the war, pigeons returned to racing, notching up further wins in national and international races. Today, the Queen maintains an interest in the royal pigeon lofts and regularly visits when in Sandringham. 160 mature pigeons are currently kept in the lofts along with 80 young pigeons. Though some of these are stock animals used purely for breeding, the majority are used for racing. It turns out that Her Majesty is a fan of pigeon racing. In fact, she's such a big fan that throughout her life she's maintained a flock of more than 200 of the birds at her Sandringham home. She's known to regularly visit the pigeon lofts at Sandringham whenever she stays there. The royal lofts hold 160 mature pigeons are currently kept in the lofts along with 80 young pigeons. Though some of these are stock animals used purely for breeding, the majority are used for racing. Racing season runs from April to September if you want to sink your teeth in, and there is a key thing to look out for should you wish to spot one. Royal pigeons wear the Queen's cipher on their leg and travel in boxes showing the royal crest. She's not the first royal to be a fan of pigeon racing either. Her grandfather, George V, and her great-grandfather Edward VII were huge fans of the sport as well. The royal family's love of the sport goes back almost 150 years to 1886 when King Leopold of Belgium gifted the family racing pigeons. And they've had a close relationship with the birds ever since. Royal pigeons joined the hundreds and thousands of other pigeons used by the British forces to carry messages during both World Wars. They were in fact so successful at it that some received awards for their services. Free racing pigeon tips and lots of info. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, look at the links and email below.